Hey guys, it's me and Gianna here. I was just gonna say, let's see how long I can get her to keep this bow on. She's not feeling the bows. Okay, so we're here for her update. It's her first 3 months of life. I didn't have time to do other updates. So let's start with her stats, and I have my notes, so don't mind me. So when she was born on April 30th, 2017. So at birth she weighed 6 pounds 12 ounces and she was 19 1/4 inches long. When we were discharged from the hospital on May 2nd, she weighed 6 pounds 5 ounces. At her newborn checkup on May 5th, she was down to 6 pounds 3 ounces. And then she had her first weight check on May 10th, which was 5 days later. She was 6 pounds 14 ounces. So she had already surpassed her birth weight 10 days from birth. So we didn't have to do any more weight checks after that. And she had her 2-week checkup on May 19th, and she was weighing 7 pounds 14 ounces. So she gained an entire pound in 9 days, and she was 20 1/2 inches long. She had an appointment for her acid reflux on June 12th. It wasn't a scheduled checkup or anything like that. She was weighing 11 pounds 2 ounces. So she went from 714 to 11.2 in about 3 weeks. The nurse put her on the scale, got her weights. She said 11 pounds 2 ounces, and she was putting it in the computer, and she didn't realize that she had went from 714 to 11.2. And she was like, oh, wait a minute, let me get her back on the scale. I think there's something wrong here. The scale might be wrong or broken or something. And so we put her back on. No, sure enough, she had gained that much weight. So she's just gaining weight like a champion. And so that was on June 12th. And then on her 2-month... Do you mind? 2-month checkup was on July 7th, and she was weighing 12 pounds 14 ounces. So like I said, she's gaining weight like a champ. I'm so proud of her. Diaper size, she was in newborns from birth until about 6 weeks. And then from 6 weeks till about 10 weeks, she was in size 1, and 10 weeks on till now, she's in size 2. That just seems so big to me. Like for a 3-month-old, that just seems really big. But yeah, she's in size 2 now, and they're starting to fit a little bit snug. So I don't think it'll be much longer before we're in size 3. As far as feeding goes, she's always eaten like a champion. Like, she has had no problems feeding. Right after she was born, I was afraid we were gonna have problems with breastfeeding because first off, she was 3 weeks early, and she was also a C-section. So I was afraid that we were gonna have problems breastfeeding. No, about 30 minutes after she was born, we were in recovery, and she latched on perfectly, and she has been eating great ever since then. As far as her scheduling for eating, when she was first born until about, I guess about 6 weeks, she was eating every 2 hours, day or night. It was every 2 hours. Now during the day, she's eating about every 2 hours, and at night we get a good stretch, her first stretch of sleep. She's eating about twice between, I'd say, 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. When she's hungry, she is hungry, and she's getting there now. She just ate about 2 hours ago. She's not like, I'm kind of hungry. Hey, maybe you might want to feed me here pretty soon. No, she goes from perfectly happy and quiet to this, angry, and hurry up and feed me. Sleeping is going decent. Again, when she was first born until about 6 weeks, she was up every 2 hours. Now, like I said, we get a pretty good few hours. Usually she goes down about 8 or 9 at night, and then she will wake up anywhere between 1 and 3 to eat, and then she goes back down pretty quick. And then she'll wake up again anywhere between 4 and 6 a.m. and then she's up for the day. And then naps during the day are just so, it varies so much. Her daycare was asking us about her nap schedule, and I was like, she doesn't have one. Like, she just sleeps whenever she feels the need to. Her personality has really been coming out, I'd say, in the past like 5 weeks or so. And she is so feisty, like, and she's hot-headed. She has a terrible temper. She's just like her dad. Don't tell him I said that. But yes, she's very hot-headed and really short fuse. She gets mad really easily. I'm surprised that she still has this headband on because usually she is not having that at all. She's so expressive. Like, she makes tons of noises, and she's always grunting and cooing and like these little yelps and stuff. And her face is so expressive. Just the facial expressions that she makes, it's adorable. I love it so much. She does this one thing, well, and she really doesn't do it anymore. This was like probably within like the first 5 weeks of her life, but when she was sleeping, She'd keep her eyes shut and lift her eyebrows and just like sleep like that. And it was, I don't know, it was adorable. I got a picture of that, so I'll put that in here. She also does this sneezing thing. Usually she sneezes 3 times, like every time she sneezes. And she'll sneeze, hachoo, hachoo. And then the third one, if it's not a full sneeze and she's expecting it, she goes, hachoo, hachoo. And like this, I don't know, it's so cute. I got it a little bit on video, and it was when she was really, really little. And it's like at the very end that you can hear her little yell that she does.
Good morning. Good morning, Gia. Oh, God bless you.
Okay, as far as developmental milestones, she has always been really strong, lifting her head and her neck since like a few days old. I was already impressed with how much she would be lifting her head. But right about 3 weeks, she really started like lifting her head, and she has such great neck and head control. And even her doctor commented on it. One of her appointments, she was laying on her back and she grabbed her arms and pulled her into like a sitting position. And her doctor was like, wow, that's really impressive. Her neck control is really impressive. Smiling, she really started smiling like intentionally, not just because of gas. At about 7 weeks, she really started smiling intentionally. And I just love it. Like, being able to make her smile is the cutest thing ever. Oh, tummy time. She hates tummy time. I think all babies really hate it, but we're working on it. It's a work in progress, and she just doesn't like it, but we're gonna keep doing it. Any problems or issues? Her acid reflux, and that came about when she was about 3 weeks old, is when she was diagnosed with the GERD, the GERD. I don't even know what gastrointestinal esophageal reflux disease, whatever it stands for, GERD. She started the Zantac when she was 3 weeks old, and then it stopped working when she was about 8 weeks. So we switched her over to omeprazole, and that's what she's on now, and that seems to be making a huge difference. It doesn't stop spitting up. All it does is help control the acid that's in her spit up, so it doesn't hurt her and isn't so annoying. But right now it's just, like her doctor said, it's just a nuisance. It's not causing any health problems for her. Some babies will have like lack of weight gain. Obviously she's not having that issue. And just like other developmental problems because of it, and she's not having any other health problems. It's just the spitting up, and she was acting like she was in pain. But with the omeprazole, it seems to have really kind of gotten that under control. Things that she loves to be held, and she loves to be kissed. She smiles all the time when you kiss her. It's adorable. And she loves vibration. So this little rocker thing I have here, it vibrates. And so when she's really fussy, we'll put her in there, and the vibration seems to calm her down. She loves bath time and shower time. So when my husband's in the shower, I'll hand her to him, and she loves the shower. Like, he'll hold her and she just lays there letting the water hit her. And she must have got that from me, because I am a shower person. I love being in the shower, especially when I don't feel good. So when she gets really fussy or worked up, my husband will get in the shower, and then I'll hand her to him. I would do it, I just don't trust myself. Like, she's so slippery. Like, I'd be afraid to hold her in there. So my husband does it. But that really calms her down. And she also loves her daddy's side of the bed. And so Mark got her into this thing when she was sleeping in our room. She's in her own room now. But when she was sleeping in our room, when she would get real fussy, he would get her out of her pack and play and put her on his side of the bed, and like prop her up on his pillow and tuck her in with the blankets. And she would always calm down. Like, she just loved that. Like, she loves being on his side of the bed. Things that she dislikes, she hates to be swaddled. When you first do it though, but it's the only way that she'll stay asleep at night is if she's swaddled. So she has to tough it out the first few minutes until she falls asleep, but she really hates being swaddled. Lotion and massage, like I tried to give her a baby massage a few times, and she can't stand it. She hates it. Like, that is not her thing, not at all. And with lotion, I was putting on like the Johnson & Johnson, and she was screaming bloody murder like when I would put lotion on her. And so I got online and I was reading, there's a lot of chemicals and parabens and like awful stuff in it. So I totally quit with the lotion, and now I just put coconut oil, organic coconut oil on her, and she's not crying, at least for that. She doesn't like it. She's still a little fussy about it, but she's not crying like she was before. Tummy time, like I said, she doesn't like tummy time. She doesn't like like the sound of like crinkling like chip bags, like when you're opening chips or something. She hates the sound of that, like that crunchy, crackly, crinkling noise. She gets so mad and agitated with that noise. It's so funny. And lastly, this breaks my heart. She hates her Mamaroo. She hates it, and it kills me because that swing, I don't know if you guys have looked at them, but like they're so expensive. I mean, the only thing that makes me feel a little bit better is that we didn't actually pay for it. It was a gift, but so that kind of makes me feel even worse. But my father-in-law got her Mamaroo, and she hates it. It sucks. She'll tolerate it for a few minutes, but she'll stay in there, I'd say a max of 10 minutes, and then she's over it. So week 1, so she was born on April 30th, and we were in the hospital for a couple of days. We were discharged on May 2nd, and we were able to come home then. Her first day home was May 3rd, and it was just such a surreal day having her home, and her dad went into work for a while, so it was just me and her here, and I loved it. It was great. And that whole first week, we were dealing with a pretty moderate case of jaundice. Her bilirubin numbers got up to 15.7. We didn't have to hospitalize her or get like the blanket or anything like that. We just treated it with sunlight. I would put her on a blanket in front of our sliding glass door right here so that she could get some sunlight. And then I just made sure to feed her as often as she would possibly eat. And that cleared up, I'd say within about 2 weeks, but her numbers started dropping a few days after that high number of the 15.7. During week 2, I did a little photo shoot with her, and I took a bunch of like super cute pictures, and she hated it. She was mad at me the whole time, but I was so happy to get those pictures with her being so brand new. And at the end of week 2, I really started noticing her opening her eyes a lot more than she had been before. Week 3 was Mother's Day, and oh, are you scared, my babies? It's okay. Week 3 was Mother's Day, and I mean, obviously I don't have to say it was the best Mother's Day of my entire life. Having her here was just the best Mother's Day ever. My mom came over, and Mark's mom came over. Mark's brother was here, and we had my stepson because his mom is, well, she didn't want her own son for Mother's Day, so I guess that says enough about her. So we had my stepson here too, and so it was a really great Mother's Day for me to have her and just the family around. It was awesome. Week 4, there really wasn't much going on. No big events or anything. The same for week 5, there really wasn't anything going on. Week 6, Mark had training in Arizona, so me and Gianna went with him. My grandparents live there. They actually live like 20 minutes away from his Arizona office, so me and Gianna were able to go with him, and we spent the week there with my grandparents, so her great-grandparents, and she got to meet them and spend some really good quality time. It was amazing with her being able to really see them and be around them with her being so young. It was really great. The end of week 6, we got back home, and my nephew's 5th birthday party was that Saturday. He had a swim party, so she got to go swimming for the very first time. I was still within I hadn't had my, I don't know, postpartum checkup yet, so I wasn't cleared to swim, so I couldn't swim, but her dad was able to get her in the water, and it was so cute. We got a really cute picture of them too. Week 7, not much was going on in week 7, but this was the week that we actually started to notice her like intentionally smile, not just because of gas or something, but actually like genuine smile and us being able to make her smile. Week 8 was a really rough week. I was fighting with insurance companies and her doctors and trying to get her prescriptions figured out. That's when we got her switched to the omeprazole, but that was the last medication we tried. There was like 5 other ones that our insurance or her insurance wouldn't cover. So I was going back and forth fighting with them. They still don't cover the omeprazole, but it's a lot less expensive than some of the other medications. Yeah, just fighting with the insurance companies, we finally got that squared away. And also the end of week 8, we went over to my mom's and spent some time with my brother and my sister-in-law and my 2 nephews. And my older nephew, he's loving her like so much. Like he's always like, hi little Gianna. My younger nephew, he'll be 2 in October. He doesn't really care much for her or about her. Like he doesn't really pay much attention to her. But my older nephew, like he just loves her, and he's always kissing her, and he's concerned about her whenever she gets fussy and stuff. It's just adorable. Week 9, not really much was going on in week 9 at all. Week 10 was the 4th of July. On the 3rd of July, my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nephews came over. We did some fireworks then. And then on the 4th of July, we went over to Mark's family's house and barbecued and just spent some time with the family. Also, in week 10, I started noticing how much more her personality is coming out. She seems so much happier, and like she's just not full on laughing or giggling, but a lot of cooing and awing and just smiling, and she just seems so much happier, and she just interacts a ton more. Week 11, we didn't really have much going on either. It was just, you know, a regular week, and I just was enjoying that time with her. Week 12 is my last week of maternity leave. We did a little trial run of daycare on July 19th. She did great. I cried. And I made a video about it, so you can go check that out if you want to. Also, this week, her dad has been out of town. He's been in Arizona again for more training. And so it's just been me and her, just spending this time together. And I'm just loving every second of it. So just soaking it all up before I have to go back to work, because I just love her so much and I don't want to leave her. But yeah, so and postpartum for me, everything has been great. My C-section incision healed perfectly fine. Weight loss, I'm down 40 pounds. I actually weigh about 5 pounds less than I did when I first got pregnant. So I owe that all to breastfeeding, and breastfeeding has been going perfect too. No mastitis, no clogged ducts, nothing like that. I've been very lucky, very blessed. Everything postpartum for me has been perfectly great, and she's been super healthy and perfect. And it's just been a really amazing 3 months, like just amazing. So I guess that's it for us, guys. I will try to keep up with these updates a little bit more so that they're not so long, because this is probably going to be super long. But yeah, I guess that's it. We will see you guys for our next video. Bye. Bye, baby. My sleepy McSleeper. No. Well, she kept her headband on the whole time, guys. Say bye, baby. Bye, guys.